Hello Maths fans, and we're back with another Maths Watch Help clip, this time for an assignment set for the week beginning 4th of May. It's to do a ratio. I can't remember exactly which clip this comes from, but on the assignment it is question 5. Okay, and a little thing to notice before we actually get into this is how fractions and ratios can relate to each other. So let's use this little bit of space down here. If I said I had a rectangle, 6 centimeters by 3 centimeters, and an enlarged rectangle, which was 12. Let's go for 18 centimeters. Okay, so it's the scale factor times by 3. That makes that 9 centimeters there, if they're enlargements of each other. And ways that we can write this then. Okay, so we could say this 6 centimeters on A. 6 centimeters on A is the same as 18 centimeters on B. And it must be true that 3 centimeters on A must relate to 9 centimeters on B. And this is a ratio. We can say the ratio of the sides of A to B are 6 to 18 or 3 to 9. Okay, now these cancel down to the same thing. I think you can see, look, divide by 2, you get the same ratio there. It's also true, if I wrote that as 6 as a fraction of 18, that would also be equal to 3 as a fraction of 9. Now, it's not the only way we can do this with ratios, but in this question, this is going to be useful to know this. Okay, we can write a ratio as a fraction as long as we use it relating the same parts. Okay, so 6 to 18 is the same as 3 to 9. I'm just doing a direct A to B there. Okay, now, okay. Let's come back to, we'll use this in a minute. Come back to the question here, first of all. Let's read what's going on here. 40 by x, q is a rectangle width y. The length of q is 25% more than the length of p. Okay, so that's the length of q. So I'm going to times that by 1.25 or 1 1/4 if it's increased by 25%. A quarter of 40 is 10, add it on, we get 50 centimeters. Okay, so q is 50 centimeters. So I've got areas now of P to the area of Q. Okay, now what do we know? It tells us that the area of Q is 10% less than the area of P. Well, area of P in algebra would be 40x, and area of Q is going to be 50y. But it's not 50y, is it? It would be 50y is what we've actually got for the area of Q. We know that that has to be, so 50y has to be 10% less than the area of P. So it must be equal to 10% less than that. So something times 40x, well, if we reduce by 10%, 100% to start with, reduce by 10%, we're now at 90%, which is a decimal is 0.9. Okay, now if I simplify that, 50y, 0.9 times 40x gives me 36x. Okay, I'm just going to say that again. If you've done this with your multipliers, if you reduce them by 10%, it's the same as multiplying by 0.9. So area of P and area of Q, isn't it? Okay, so area of Q is 10%. So both of these are ways of expressing area of Q. Okay, in fact, I don't need this bit now. So let's just take this down here. 50y is equal to 36x from here. And what do I want? I want the ratio of x to y. So I'm going to get if you go back to this information here, I'm going to try and get one of these to be x and one of these to be y. Well, looking at this, if you get this question here, I can see how am I going to get that? I'm going to keep the x there. I'm going to divide by 36 both sides. So 50y over 36 must be equal to x. And then I'm going to divide both sides by y because I want that x over y here. So I get 50 over 36 on this side. Divide by y, I get x over y. Now, what we're going to do is reverse what we did here. I can now say, it's like me saying 6 over 18 can be written as 6 to 18. X over y can be written as x to y. 6 over 18, 3 over 9 can be written as 3 to 9. Okay, so if we look at the x and the 50 line up, and y and the 36 line up. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with myself at the moment, 50 to 36. But it wants it in its simplest form, and we're looking for a common factor of 50 and 36. We'll see they're even, so 2 will work, 3 will work, no work there, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 2. Let's just do 2 to start off. Divide by 2, I get 25 to 18. And anything else? I think that's it. I think that's what we've got there. So my final answer, x to y, is 25 to 18. Okay, so, and that makes sense, doesn't it? Because we know that the area of x, P is bigger than Q, so that must mean that, because that side length's larger on Q, that must mean that side length must be smaller. And look, the ratio of y is smaller than x. Okay, I hope that makes sense, and I'll see you next time.